Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the Mod Showcase. In this showcase, we get to check out some incredible new exhibit animals, some extremely beautiful waterfowl. As always, what happened with you? There we go. As always, some beautiful extinct species, some very high demanded animals per usual, and last but not least, some new scenery props once again. So without further ado, let's jump into it. As always, as I try and say every single time, mods are not officially endorsed by Frontier. When you do mod at the risk of possibly breaking your own game. You might not be able to load into your map. We'll talk a little bit more about that specifically with props in just a little bit. But for the first animal we're checking out, it's actually an exhibit animal that I can't find at all. Okay, my good friend Evie actually made these, but I'm going to tear them down so we could actually get a better look into these little exhibit boxes because we have a tiny friend in here. Yes! So we actually do have the Sea Bunny Slug over here by Tuco DS. I am so excited about this. It was a quite literal labor of love in terms of kind of like getting it to go on the right spaces for this species. And not only that, but it is an exhibit animal that does have fur on it. And not talking about like the walkthrough exhibit animals and stuff like that. This is the first animal in these little exhibit boxes that has actual animal fur on that. Because the sea bunny slugs actually do have kind of like this pseudo fur on them. They do look kind of fuzzy, which gives them their name, the sea bunny slug. But yeah, that's really it. These guys are adorable, and they can actually have interspecies enrichment, the blue dragon sea slug too, which is just really awesome. But they are just the cutest little guys in here. If you guys are making an aquarium, they work absolutely perfectly for that. But yeah, incredible job to Tuco on this. But not only that, this is another case where I'm going to completely dismantle this entire building over here just so we can get a better look at what these animals are and what they do. But we have the eastern mole in here, probably one of my favorite species that I would love to see in the wild. But yeah, the eastern mole has made its adorable little appearance into Planet Zoo inside of the exhibit box this time around. And yeah, it works perfectly. So what Tuco did, I believe he actually put this on like the Evil Monster or something like that. And he got the fur to work on it. It is just the cutest little thing over here. Moles, they don't really do too much in zoos. In fact, they really aren't in too many zoos themselves. They're just relatively difficult animals to keep in captivity because of their lifestyle, their subterranean lifestyle and stuff like that. But it really is super cool just to see these guys in here. I don't know, that's just awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the moles, and we are going to move over to our habitat species. And yes, I do apologize. I've realized upon a latest comment, and I do apologize on this, my motion in Planet Zoo is a little bit janky, and it results in some people getting a little bit of motion sickness, so I do apologize on that. I'm going to try and keep my hand off of my mouse this time around. So we're going to check out some of these, with the first one being the King Eider by Monsoon. Absolutely beautiful work on this model over here. This again is just a incredibly beautiful seafaring bird that's found, I believe, mostly in the European side of the Atlantic, and also I think they actually get over to the Pacific. I think we actually are able to check out a map for these guys. Yeah, so they do find their way across like most of the northern hemisphere, which is very cool. But yeah, they're a beautiful species. They do have interspecies enrichment with possibly the other eider. I don't have it installed right now, so we're not really able to tell. But that is just a beautiful job by Monsoon over here. Once again, Monsoon just always goes above and beyond with his mods. They're always so beautifully hand-painted, and they just look incredible. I mean, just look at that. Okay, we are going to slowly but surely make our way over here to the Surf Scotater. So these guys are really awesome, and yes, they do actually look like this. I know it looks like he just saw like the face of war itself. These birds actually do have this look about them, and they are just the... Okay, sorry about that. So, Lobry, I think you might need to fix the Zupedia on these guys. But yes, these guys are probably one of my favorite species to see in the wild, just because of their stark coloration. I saw a few of these guys in the wild near Block Island. That's like a little Rhode Island hotspot for all my New Englanders out there. But really beautiful species over here, and I think Lowbury did an excellent job at capturing just how weird these guys should look. They have these really incredible beaks, and they have this little black spot in the middle of it. They just look like, kind of like the clown triggerfish of birds, I would compare them to. They just have so much going on them, and they are just the prettiest looking birds. I do believe Lowbury used Monsoon's base for the eider as a way to make the surf scoter, and Lowbury has said he doesn't really want to make the black scoter or the white-winged scoter, which are the other two that are common, at least near me. So I don't know, maybe someone else will make those, but they also do have a female, and the females are relatively simple looking. They have a couple like white patches on like the front of their beak and their kind of cheek over there. Very beautiful species once again. And yeah, it's just awesome to get more waterfowl in here. I feel like we can make some really intense aviaries now. And I kind of want to go right over here to the other aquatics, and I'm going to help them out over here. Yep, that is the thing too. These aquatic mods, I love making them. I really, really do. I think they work really well once the habitat is made for them. But if you're having any issues with your aquatic mods, just keep in mind they do need at least a little bit of a ramp to get into the water. You can see now they're finally unstuck. So they should be making their way into the water right now. I hope. Oh, okay. It seems like they're going, I think. One just made it into the water. But yeah, you can see it is a little jank. Unfortunately, there are no true aquatic species in Planet Zoo except for like the axolotl, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to slow down time a little bit and check out the African manatee in-game. I was so proud of these guys. So what I am currently working on with a few of my buddies in the background is another Mega Zoo project. You'll be seeing that relatively soon. I put out on like Twitter or X that the video is over an hour and 15 minutes long, so it's taken me a little bit of time to get the proper edits done in there. But you'll be seeing this guy in there, which is going to be really, really awesome. So the African manatee is the only sirenian that is found on the west coast of Africa. And they are just a beautiful, beautiful species. Super, super awesome, especially for if you're making kind of like a weird aquatic zoo. These guys are a standout species. What I wanted to do was give them a little bit more of that kind of very green, very mossy look. And I think I did a really fun job at capturing that aesthetic. Not only that, but they also do have a little bit shorter bodies than the West Indian manatee, and that one is going to be updated for 1.19 eventually. I'm just waiting on a couple photos from Rob on that, but these guys, I'm super proud of the texture once again. I tried my best to kind of get those wrinkles in there just a little bit more. I felt like that would be a really awesome way to convey just a little bit more uniqueness in this species. Obviously, we don't have fully animated manatees in this game, but I don't know. I was super proud of that. So I don't know. That's a manatee. All right, moving on from there, we are going to take a step back in time, and oh no, all my foliage disappeared. That's so sad. Oh well. We're not looking at the foliage, we're looking at the species. And this species is the Zeno Cararix Ambulang. Will this crash? Who knows? It did not. That's great. So yes, these guys were found originally in Spain and Portugal. Now, this species is kind of like a giraffe. It is very cool. So it does look like it is a distant relative of the giraffe. Yeah, that's really it. It had a T-like protrusion from the top of its head, which is very, very interesting. No interspecies enrichment. Always do love to see that, but it makes sense because we don't really know too much about this species over here. But this is made by the wonderful Great Cake Mods. Again, we'll be seeing so much more from her in the future about the other props that she made this time around. But this is a beautiful, beautiful species. Once again, if you are making a paleo zoo, these guys would be a standout species species in here. They are just so beautifully textured. I love that striping that she has right back there for this guy. It is so cool. But yeah, she has this really, really awesome texture detail for this species in all of her mods that I just love on this. I don't know, it just looks so unique. It looks so cake, and I just love it. Moving on from there, we are checking out a new modder this time around. Okay, this is by Boyo and Thai. Okay. Fluker Boy 1. I believe I'm pronouncing that right, but he is a new modder from Thailand. Shout out to that. But he made the Geep mod. Now, you might be saying, Leaf, what the hell is a Geep? Well, it's actually a goat-sheep hybrid. So yeah, this is our friend's first new mod, which is just really awesome to see. I'm so happy to see new modders on the scene, and it's just always awesome to flesh out the roster for Planet Zoo. Always so happy to see that. But they do have a couple color morphs in here. We can see that they have a little bit more of like that little white and black one. We have a little bit more of a brown and white one, and we also have this beautiful kind of like ashy chocolate brown looking one. Really awesome to see that. And yeah, I'm just happy to see more mods on the scene. Speaking of more mods on the scene, this is actually a new modder as well. This is actually also Fluke Boyo 1, so he is really fleshing out the hybrids in Planet Zoo. And this is one that I know a lot of people have been asking for quite some time. This is the Pizzly Bear. And the Pizzly Bear is actually a wild occurring hybrid. Oftentimes is found in the wild. It is very interesting. So what it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a cross between a polar bear and a grizzly bear, which is just a really, really weird occurrence to see. But this is just so cool. If you guys are hoping to make like a quote-unquote unethical zoo, I think these guys would be a really fun addition right there. You can debate me all you want on the ethics of hybrids. I really don't care that much. But yeah, it's just really awesome to see more representation in Planet Zoo, more modders, and we'll be talking about some other new modders on the scene in just a little bit, but that is so cool. We have a new extinct species, being the Lepticidium. Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like, Lepticidium. This is a extinct species from when? Okay, it lived in the Eocene. Okay, so I'm not sure if we have any old people like myself who used to watch Jimmy Neutron back in the day, but do you guys remember the episode of Jimmy Neutron where they went back in time to like the Cretaceous period and they found a Lepticidium? I don't know. I always thought they were from the Cretaceous, but no, they're actually from the Eocene or Miocene. Whatever scene, I don't know. But this is probably one of my favorite extinct species. They just look so adorable. They're from prehistoric Europe, which is really awesome. And this is Great Cake Mods' little Easter gift this year. So that is just so freaking cool from, I don't know, I just love that. But it is a really awesome species. I love their coloration on here. I think she did a great job at really capturing that kind of like dappled, kind of speckled look that they have. But yeah, that's the Lepticidium. Now we are taking a little bit of a trip over here to check out Forge's mods. Very awesome. So these species are a quote-unquote speculative evolution, speculative, whatever you want to call it, fantasy continent, Afronesia. It's essentially an island off of the coast of Africa that kind of like combines Asia and African species. It's very cool. You can read all about them in his fun facts over here. But yeah, it is just really, really awesome. So the first one we have is the Gazoko Huilbach. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, it is such a beautiful, beautiful species over here. I feel like this is like the unexplored frontier for Planet Zoo mods. And I feel like this is something a lot more people can experiment with, is making their own speculative animals. I think this is really fun, and it's such an awesome way to kind of put your mark on the Planet Zoo modding community. So like, do more of this stuff. Do more of this stuff. Forge, this is beautiful. I love the texture work you did with these guys. The markings around the face over there, I feel like the horns you did such a great job with. The legs are just beautiful. It all turned out so awesome, and I can't wait to see what else you cook over here, including the Afronesian marsh buffalo. Now the UI buddy is a little broken for me. I don't know why, but I just look into that really quickly. But yeah, it is just a beautiful species over here. Love the horns on these guys. The coloration is really awesome. I like that kind of like sandy brown texture. It is just so pretty. But yeah, the continent of Afronesia is kind of shaping up very nicely, so it's so cool to see that. We are going down to South America to check out the Argentinian Puma, which is very cool. Argentine. So yes, pumas, cougars, mountain lions, whatever you want to call them, are found all the way from Canada down to like the bottom of Chile, which is just incredible to me. So Cake actually wanted to make her own subspecies or subpopulation, I'm not really sure which one it is, of the mountain lion, and she chose the Argentine Puma, which is really, really awesome. Not only that, but the fur detail on here is so beautiful. I love how sharp it looks. I don't know, it just looks so awesome, and the face she did for this species is just so incredible. I love this. I really can't wait to see what people make with this species. Look at that belly texture. Look at that belly texture. It is so beautiful. But yes, another incredible mod by Cake. There's even a baby over here. We can check that out. Look at the little scrunkly little face. That is so cute. But yeah, that is just another incredible mod from Cake over there as we check out some others. So we have this little adorable guy from Forge once again over here. So we do have a couple Forge mods, so happy to see him really make his stance on the modding scene. But this one over here is the Cape ground squirrel. So squirrels are found all over the world, I've started to find. And it's just really awesome to see the diversity in them. So there's ground squirrels and tree squirrels. Ground squirrels also include like your prairie dogs and stuff like that. But these guys are just the cutest little guys ever. Africa is full of ground squirrels. So it's so awesome to see Forge make the Cape ground squirrel. They're known for their big white streak across their back right over, which is so adorable. But yeah, it's just so awesome to see this representation of species in here. I think it is just the bee's knees to get a lot more species like this in the game. So if you are making kind of like an African themed zoo, you can absolutely include these guys over here. They have interspecies enrichment with meerkats, which is just awesome. And we are not done with Forge just yet. We have one fantasy mod to check out from him, or at least cryptid mod. This is the Chupacabra. Oh boy, I love the inclusion of cryptids and fantasy species in Planet Zoo. And I think the Chupacabra is a really, really awesome one, especially when I'm making like a kind of like Southwestern inspired zoo over here. Maybe I'll do like a little Easter egg with these guys on the outside of the zoo, but they are just so cool. I love their bright glowing red eyes. I think that is just the coolest thing in the world over there. So yeah, the Chupacabra, you guys can read up all about it in the Zoopedia over here. Because it takes me so long to load into Planet Zoo, I'm not going to click on that at risk of it crashing again, but I don't think you'll have any issues with this. But the Chupacabra really is such an incredible species. I don't know, they're just so cool. I love it. I love it. And we have one more Forge mod to check out. We are checking out the Southern Central Black Rhinoceros. This is a lot more of the type of rhino you would find in a zoo. So this is something that Forge wanted to set out to do. He felt like the in-game Black Rhinoceros was a lot more emblematic of the wild type rhinos that you could find in Africa and stuff like that. But instead he wanted to make one that you would find a lot more often than not inside of a zoo. So a lot more of that browner color, a lot more of the shorter rounded off horns. This is just beautiful. It's really awesome, and I really hope you guys take advantage of this in terms of making a lot more of a realistic zoo. They look incredible to me. So we have another modder on the scene over here. We have Moonf Fox, and Moonf Fox is doing some incredible stuff right off the bat. Number one, they have made the coyote remaster, which is so good. They fixed the eyes on the coyote, which is really good. But not only that, you can see they kind of like face forward now instead of being like facing outwards. But yes, not only that, but they also added new morphs to them as well. So one of the biggest disappointments that I saw was the fact that the coyote in game does not have a melanistic variant, despite them pretty much being known for that being their dominant variant. So it's really awesome to see modders really step up and kind of take advantage of Frontier not making these variants for some reason. Really beautiful species over here. They also have a strawberry variant think we should be able to find that soon. That's sandy marbled. I did buy one. Strawberry blonde. Let me just wake her up. We can see that is a beautiful coloration right over there. I love that. I love that. That is so cool. Coyotes are just so awesome. I'm really thankful we have them in the game now. In fact, the other day, I had a very close encounter with the coyote. It was kind of terrifying. I know they typically tend to leave humans alone, but it like barked at me when I was walking in the woods. I was probably at least like 10 feet away from it. But yeah, I have a lot more of a newfound respect for these species now after my little close encounter of the dog kind. But yeah, that is just so cool. Welcome to the modding community. Moonf Fox, really awesome to see that, and excited to see what else you have over there too. But besides that, we are checking out an African species over here by Lion Rider. This is the giant forest hog. These guys are big old beefy boys. So yeah, the giant forest hog is a species of pig that is found in Africa, mostly around the Congo, but they've found to be like even outside of the Congo as well. But yeah, they are just a terrifying species. They've been known to charge at humans, which is very scary to me because look at the size of this beast. You do not want to mess with it. But yeah, it is just a really awesome Congolese species. That is just so cool. They're so cool. They are so disgusting to look at. Like their face, it just feels sweaty. It feels warty. I don't know. It is just a terrifying pig over here, but it is just so cool. I love how they look kind of shiny from afar. Really awesome job to Lion Rider on. Okay, we are checking out a beautiful mod from Cake once again. This is the blue monkey, otherwise known as the Stolmans blue monkey. So yeah, this is an African monkey species. I love how speckled their fur looks. So yeah, Stolman blue monkeys are just the prettiest looking monkeys out there. I love how Cake was able to make their fur look, and I love the direction she took that tail in. It is just so cool. But yeah, they're just an incredible monkey species. If you guys are working on a primate house, they're always so welcome in there. I just absolutely love African monkeys in particular. I think they have a really interesting look about them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a Stolman's blue monkey. Now we are going back to Kimba Fox over here, or Moonf Fox. I think they go by both names. But on the release, or like reveal, of the America's Animal Pack, I forgot the name of it already, they were very saddened to hear that there was no Kawadi included in that, and I was too. So we both kind of made our Kawadis over here. Give me 2 seconds. So yeah, you can see both of our Kawadi mods over here. I think they did a lot better job on like the model and stuff over here on the left hand side. Maybe I'll remaster mine in a little bit, but they actually did everything that I would have loved to have seen in a Kawadi mod over here. Very happy with how they were actually able to get their tail to stand upright. Very cool stuff over there. The only reason I didn't do that was because I wanted to edit the animations, but that was proving to be just a little bit difficult for me. But this is their first mod, and that to me is just incredible to see. The coyote, even I'm getting a little tripped up on how to say that. The coyote was their second mod. This is their first mod. Really, really incredible job on this fox. It is beautiful. Beautiful job. So happy to see this Kawadi in the game. You did such a good job on it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We have a couple more mods, and we're checking out a monsoon one over here. These guys are shiny. This is the Topi Antelope. These guys are beautiful. So yeah, they are another bovidae from Africa. What monsoon does with its textures, it's just so incredible. So you can see they do have that little sheen on them, which is really, really cool. But I'm so impressed by like these little markings under the legs and stuff like that. Stuff like that always just kind of trips me out. I don't know. But Monsoon just does a beautiful job with all of his ungulates, and this one in particular is no exception. Topi just have this very long look about their face, and it's just so cool to see. I love it. But yeah, these guys are just an incredible new species over here. No interspecies enrichment, a little bit of a shame. Oh, again, I always love to see that. Always love to see that. Even if it doesn't make sense, I still love to see it. But yeah, this is a beautiful species over here by Monsoon. Again, those horns are just beautiful. Oh my word. But yeah, that's Topi. All right, we have one more new species to check out over here. We have the common Brushtail Possum. No, yep. Common Brushtail Possum. Yes, named because their tail looks like a big old brush or something like that. These guys are the coolest marsupials out there. Now, originally I was trying to make one, but I kind of front-loaded this to Cake because they are just most difficult and most confusing species to make. You can see their feet down there. They have like an extra toe or something like that. Their model is just extremely difficult to pull off right. But Cake, I'm so happy I let Cake make this, or really commission Cake to make this because I could not make it myself, but this is beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful mods I've ever seen. The texture work on here, especially the variations. These guys have so much variations. They're found all over Australia. Are they found anywhere else? No, not really. I know they're invasive in New Zealand. I believe that's true. But yeah, these guys are just so adorable. Oh my god, it's so good. It really is so good. Cake did such an incredible job with this. The gray morph too. You can see a little bit of color in there, but that is just so cool. But yeah, that is not it for today. Cake has also blessed us with like all of these new species, like Infoboard signs or whatever. This is incredible. Like, almost every single bird mod in here has their own little thing. So you can see we have ones for like the condors and like the macaws and everything, the owls, etc, etc. But not only that, Cake was also like, well, you know, a bunch of base game Planet Zoo stuff in here needs a lot of like this modern art style over here that they've been doing recently. So I love what she did. She basically took like poses of the animals in game, traced them, colored them. It just looks so cool. I don't know. It's like such a really awesome art style that Cake has pulled off very well over here. So you can see there are so many of these animal signs in here. And I think, sorry, I'm just trying to get, I want to show you guys what you can do with them very easily. So if we pop down the info signs modular pack over here, and if we just start to combine a few of these blueprints once they all load in, that's the only thing with this big old pack over here is that it takes forever to load these pieces in. But if we can take one of these signs over here and we pop it right over here, and then we can have like some info boards for like, let's just say the giraffe. Their hitboxes are a little weird, so you can't select them right there. You got to select them on the ground right down there, right at their feet. So if you want some information about the giraffes over there, you can do something like this. Again, this is like a mini building tutorial for all of those who are interested. Let's just say we want to match their color with the giraffe over here. We can kind of do like a little bit of like a brownish one right there. We can change the frame over here to be a little bit like the giraffe kind of coloration. Maybe make it a little bit more yellow. We can change these to be a little bit more brown. We go back here, have a brown. That's very good. This to be like, I don't know. We can also change that to be brown. But you can see there is so much potential over here for really making custom signage, and it's just so awesome. I love it so much. So these are just an incredible work of art and it's gonna go so long. Now I do want to say, because these are prop mods, they have more of a chance to break your game, but I'm not saying that like don't install them if you want to. Definitely check these mods out, but keep in mind, if you install these in a map, and let's just say you load into the map without the mod installed, or you have your buddy load into the map and they don't have the mod, it will crash. Like, it will crash. The game is searching for, like, let's just say you put down the prairie dog sign. If you even just have this in your game and you load into the map without this mod installed, it's going to be looking for that, and if it can't find that in your files, it's going to say, fine, no more Planet Zoo today. It's gonna just crash. But just make sure if you send this map to anyone or put it on the workshop that you always have it in like the description. This map requires mods, and link the mods in there. I think this is going to be a really awesome way for you guys to decorate your zoos. Just be smart about it. Fully respect the people on the workshop who might not want to use mods, who might like not be able to use mods, and just make sure you say blatantly, this requires mods in order for it to work, because we don't want the modding community to be stigmatized by the rest of the Planet Zoo community because we're uploading stuff to the workshop that they can't use. You understand what I mean? I hope you guys do. But that is it for today's mod showcase. It was a little bit of a quicker one. Did I get these guys? Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was a little bit of a quicker showcase. I hope you guys are okay with that. Because I have something big I want to get working on right after this finishes rendering. But with that being said, we'll end it over here with the King Eider, my favorite mod from this week. Let me know your favorites in the description down below, and we will see you all in the next video. Take care, and have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Bye-bye now.